Welcome back, and in today's video we're going to look at my PlayStation Vita collection. And this is a system I absolutely love. I know a lot of you guys love it too, but it doesn't seem like Sony supports it, and there's not really too much third-party support, so there's really not a lot of games out for the system. But the games that are out there are absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend picking up this system. So anyways, I ended up pre-ordering the Assassin's Creed Liberation Vita, and absolutely love it. It's white compared to the standard black, and it kind of stands out, especially in this thing. This is the Nyko Power Grip, and if you have a Vita, this is absolutely necessary, because the way the Vita currently stands, you can get cramps with this thing. But this thing here absolutely is perfect. It moves your thumbs up a little bit so it doesn't cause you to cramp. And there's a little battery in this as well, so it charges a little bit more. So anyways, let's get into the collection. My very first game here is obviously going to be Assassin's Creed Liberation, and this game is, I actually really like this game because it's an Assassin's Creed game on the go, and it's almost as good as the regular PlayStation 3 games. Very close. You play as a female assassin, first time ever as well. A little bit kind of a twist here where you kind of switch between costumes, and different costumes can give you different abilities. So highly recommend picking up this game if you don't have it. Next up is Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. Now this is a 2D platformer which kind of reminds me of a Metroidvania type game where you have to go from one area to unlock another and then go back to the first area and so forth. Now this does have a little bit of combat in it, and it is kind of similar to the other Arkham games, but not as refined. Next up is Blazblue Continuum Shift Extended. I haven't played this one too much, but from what I see it looks pretty decent. Next up is a game I just picked up, Freedom Wars. Gravity Rush. I played a demo for this thing, and this was a lot of fun. I've yet to play it though. Injustice, Gods Among Us. This is the, I think they call it the Ultimate Edition. And I absolutely love these types of games. It's pretty much an exact port from the PS3 version or PS4 version, except maybe the graphics aren't as great. Other than that though, it plays very well, and highly recommend this game. Next up is Killzone Mercenary. The best first-person shooter on the system is Killzone Mercenary. Next up is Little Big Planet PS Vita. Now this is actually my favorite Little Big Planet game. I'm a big fan of these types of games, but for some reason this one stood out amongst all the others. Next up, another game I just picked up recently, Little Deviants. I played a demo for this, and it was fun enough to pick up. Next up, another game that I absolutely love, Mortal Kombat. Now this, like Injustice, is pretty much an exact port from the PlayStation 3 version, except maybe the graphics are a little, downsized a bit, but other than that it plays exactly like the PlayStation 3 version. Next up, Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus. Played through this as well. Very, very hard game. It took me forever to get to the final boss, and when I got to the final boss, I had no orbs left, so it took me forever to actually finish it off. Next up, game you must have, and I repeat, must have if you have a PlayStation Vita, is Persona 4. Go pick it up. You'll absolutely love it. I put 86 hours into this thing, and I really wish that the story was longer so I could actually put more hours into it. Next up, PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale. Obviously this is PlayStation's attempt at Smash Brothers. It's still a very good game though. It doesn't get the credit it deserves, I guess. It is actually a good game. It's not as good as Smash, and I think everyone compares it to Smash, and that's why it didn't really do that well. Next up is Resistance Burning Skies. Now this is another great first-person shooter on the Vita. It uses a lot of touchscreen commands and backscreen commands as well, so it does make good use of the Vita, obviously because it was developed by a first-party company. Very fun. I love the Resistance series. If you like it as well, pick this up as well. Next up is Silent Hill Book of Memories. I haven't played this one yet. Another one, Tales of Hearts R. I've yet to play this one yet, but I'm a big fan of the Tales games. Another new game, Tearaway. I've heard good things about this. Again, I haven't played it though. Next up, The Walking Dead. This is the complete first season, and this is a game I love this one. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and when they announced this and said it was kind of a new story altogether, I jumped at the chance of getting this. This and the second one, and I love playing this on the Vita. So speaking of the second one, here's the second one. Walking Dead Season 2. Not as good as the first season, but I still really like this one as well. Next up is another game, a Telltale game, The Wolf Among Us. If you like any of the Telltale games, this one is probably the best one out of them all. Even better than The Walking Dead. The story behind this game is absolutely amazing, and it's something I really wasn't expecting, and then I tried it out myself and I loved it. Next up, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I'm not the greatest at these types of games, and I just end up button mashing in these ones. But if you like them, you may like it. It's not really 100% for me, but I do enjoy it. Next up, another... I don't think this is a first-party game, actually. I think it is. It's made by Ben Studios. This is Uncharted, Golden Abyss. And I played through this one. It's not as good as the PS3 versions. Obviously those ones are really hard to compete against, but this is a solid game, and you know, because it's in the Uncharted series, it doesn't get the love it deserves, but if it had another name on it, I bet you a lot of people would really like this one. Next up is Wipeout 2048, another game I picked up recently. I actually had this downloaded on my Vita and I liked it so much I went out and bought a physical copy. And last but not least, I have the collector's edition of Ys Memories of Celceta. And I've yet to try this one out, but I really want to get into the Ys series, and I just haven't had time to actually break this open and get playing it. So anyways, that is my entire PlayStation Vita collection. Let's get off the floor and get it on the shelf here. Alright, so that is my PlayStation Vita collection. Hopefully you enjoyed, and until next time, take care.